And that's why I think the new CG is a massive success.
Wow, we really need to work on that Daxi AI. It is not up to
text to
snuff yet,
speech
man.
is really good these days, man. You don't need to talk to do a podcast. You just sit and type. FDev, am I right?
For the listeners out there, we're starting just a couple minutes earlier than we normally do because most of our best stuff happens right before we tell Craig to join. And we're waiting to see if Barrow's migraine would go away or not.
Dubious proposition. Anyway,
what, the migraine or doing the podcast with you?
Oh, just the podcast in general. the fact that the wheels ever lift off from the runway is just a miracle.
Yeah, this podcast is like that really, really old airliner that everyone has seen taking off, and you're not quite sure if it's going to make it, and then it lifts into the air, and you're like, oh, I didn't know I was holding my breath.
It's got a lot of the actual aircraft tape. It looks like duct tape, so you freak out, but it is actually structurally sound. But it looks
speed tape.
It looks janky, but it's literally the physics are on its side. But you're sitting in that chair looking out that little window, and you're like, that didn't look right.
My dad said in the Air Force,
what have I
called that 1,000-mile-an-hour tape because it held on to the leading edge of the wing of an F4 Phantom until about 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's solid stuff. But if you don't know, you're like, who's running this joint? Am I skydiving? What kind of plane is this?
It's aviation. The people running the joint are cynicism, hate, and a lot of tape.
Yeah, a lot of Red Bull. A lot of Red Bull.
Well, anyway,
everyone, go ahead, Lark. I was going to gripe, but we'll get enough of that in.
Oh, yeah, that save that. Let it right then, as you said.
Yep. Ugh.
I am Commander Lark Shadow, and this is the 310th episode for the 14th of November, 2025.
33 und 10.
11?
Frick is happening. And this is the Loose Screws podcast.
I got to do that in German more often.
I don't think
why is Daxi so mad? Oh, man.
Speaking of other commanders here, I'm Commander Lark Shadow, and I am joined by sister cousin Daxi.
The hell? Damn it. That's the new Discord name. I've had like 18 so far. Hi, Lark. Hi, Roy.
And brother wife, Roy.
Oh, I'm not sure who got the better end of that deal. Good evening.
And I'm sorry, this is the most cringe thing I could think of, stolen from an old Markiplier video. No,
I'm just griping. I'm like, why the hell am I in the California sector?
Oh, frick. Speaking of which, Daxi, why are you in the California sector?
God only knows. I'm abandoned out here. We bring the squadron out here for a carrier for a single event. 6 weeks later, it's still here. Okay, that might be an over-exaggeration, but I've got a CG to get to, and I'm like, what the hell? It's that funny
Just
moment.
Use your favorite seat on the fleet carrier.
You get to the login screen.
It's the one with the big red door.
Yet, and you see, I'm like, why am I on foot in the Pleiades? You're like, what the hell was I doing? I don't know. It's just life's little mysteries. But yeah, here I am. How is everyone doing?
Good. How's your week?
Yeah?
Like outside of game 2.
We have, and believe it or not, after a short 3 years, gentlemen, we have an Odyssey CG this week.
Hooray!
Couldn't be happier for Frontier to finally take advantage of the Odyssey game release and have us do a.
They needed a minute to get the bugs out, you know.
You know, the release was just so sketchy, and it really took them a while to get it up on its legs. But now that I have since had children. We can finally get on the CCG off
I
the
forgot about that.
ground.
That's true.
Yeah, we can get it off the ground. That's what's all fine and good. Yeah.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
real
that's my
life's good,
favorite.
man. I'm not breaking my back renovating a home anymore. I have time on my hands. I have muscles that don't ache. I have room for socializing with my fellow human beings, which, believe it or not, I do quite often. I don't just troll on the internet. I troll in real life, but that's a separate endeavor. And no, my game, I had a fun time doing AX for the, I think only like the second time since the Thargoid War ended out here in the California Nebula. It consistently reminded me what stellar pilots I am surrounded by, if not being one of them. So AX night with the boys is still to this day one of my favorite things. That'll never get old. So that was a lot of fun. And now I got to manage how to get myself the hell out of Bumble F California sector JHV to C2 TAC 8. So that's what I'm doing. What about you guys? What about you, Lark Shadow?
I am waiting for a DM back from Volt. I have been helping him
Ooh, a DM.
do. Oh, the station hasn't spawned in yet. Nice.
Let's take this to the DMs.
Yeah, I've been with both Volt and Rowan's help. We have been very quickly in the last 24 hours building a chain out to a system that has an Earth-like world, which I am going to claim as new comma as soon as the station actually, freaking appears in this system. I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on. No, I've
Cool.
actually been playing a lot of Elite, trying out colonization.
Oh no, they nerfed it. You're wasting your time.
Oh, don't even get me freaking
Lark,
started on the
trust
freaking
me.
internet, man.
No, you're not having fun because number goes up different. So just to let you know, in case you thought you were having fun, you're not.
Okay, well, fine. I'm out here not having fun, having
Exactly.
fun,
Exactly. Thank you.
I guess.
Mhm.
And freaking, oh, geez, we're like 600 light years out from the bubble, creating our own.
Dude, the bubble's big, man. Have you scanned by human populated systems since colonization's really took
I
off?
haven't. I'm kind of afraid to be
It's
honest.
huge. It's not even a bubble. It's like a squid with tendrils reaching out. It's like a ball
The
of
squid
spaghetti.
of humanity.
Yeah, honestly, it's just reaching out everywhere. Like you can almost time when you started the game by like whether you used the bubble or not. We need a new metaphor for it.
Yeah, the bubble,
Yeah.
the infection,
Nah, I'll call it the ball spaghetti or the squid,
the spaghetti monster of humanity.
the spaghetti monster. Yeah, honestly, and you can tell, can your graphics card really hack it or not based on how many stars it can render?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually had not been playing Elite for a couple weeks just because I was like meh and tired and stuff, and it feels nice to get back in.
Well,
Freaking stars look fantastic. I forgot how pretty this game is. It's
how's your
great.
farm field? How's your farm fields doing otherwise? Because we know that's what you were doing.
Yeah, I was playing a lot of Farm Sim. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you were. Yes, you were. Didn't even have to ask.
Oh shoot,
Roy, Roy.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Real life has conspired to keep me out of the game for a bit. I was on a business conference.
Okay, life
trip.
has given us all a
Ooh.
70% nerf lately.
Yeah. So I didn't go to the AX thing. Actually, that was a different event, and then I was on a different event first half of this week. But I did get to see in real life the Northern Lights from where I was.
No way.
Which was pretty cool.
Very
picture
cool.
in that in the exploration channel.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
Proper Northern Lights or this like EMF haze? Because all the way down to Arizona, we had that like not actual Northern Lights, but it's definitely a pink haze.
The purple stuff counts as Northern Lights.
It's the same phenomenon, just energized extra by coronal mass ejection. So it's literally the same physics. It's just when the sun spews a bunch of stuff at us, it goes further than the Arctic Circle. So.
Yeah.
And there was a corresponding one in the south as well, the Southern Lights. They didn't get talked about a lot, but a lot of Australia. I was curious if Grover saw it from New Zealand or not. So,
well, I don't think they're upside down. So can they see them, or is the Earth in the way?
it's funny. Sometimes it doesn't do both poles actually, because the ejection can clear, like it can hit us on the north side or the south side or both, or just miss us entirely. So
yeah, I admit I ask the dumbest questions.
no, I just wanted to science your joke into the
There is
ground.
no
That's okay.
such thing as a dumb question.
In game,
There are dumb people, but there are no dumb questions.
I did jump into the game today and have been working on the CG that we'll talk about, which of course I'm going to do twice. Although my main already has the G5 suit with all the goodies on it, so I'm focusing on my alt Fred with this one. So that's what I'm doing, and we've got Bloom just walked into the studio.
Yeah, we have a special guest who has had more of a 70% nerf to life than the rest of us lately.
Shall we say the doctor is in?
The doctor has arrived.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
I'm sorry I didn't think of that. Bloom.
Great.
That's okay. You don't read enough Peanuts comics.
Doctor.
How are you?
Well.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, 120/80.
120/80, as it should be. Unlike my patients, who go from 220/120 lying down to 70/60 standing up. It's a party.
Yeah.
Hey, last time I checked, I was 122/87, so I'm getting there.
You're getting there. You're doing pretty good. So
I've been hypertensive a while. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. No, for sure. So
well, are we all after playing Elite for so long?
Yeah. FDev raises our blood pressure.
FDev raises our blood pressure.
Sorry.
My blood pressure's 15,000 arcs. Jesus.
There you go.
That's kind of high.
Yeah. Now, what is that in stock shares?
Too soon, Bloom. Come on.
Sorry.
You're always so mean.
I know.
Yep. I think it's 0.02, by the way.
Something like that.
Yep. Yeah, how's real life?
Real life's been challenging, to say the least. My father-in-law passed away on the 30th of October.
Yeah.
So we've been dealing with that, which is kind of a downer. Work's been good. My mother's birthday is Sunday, so we had a little shindig for her. Her senior apartment has a cocktail hour every day at 4:30.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so we brought cake and we brought fruit and we brought Riesling because they never have Riesling. So there was quite the turnout. The cocktail hour. Usually it's like about 7, 8, 10 people, and it was like 20 or 30. I think because they heard free cake.
Dang.
So that was cool. That was nice. Work is fun. So
yes, it is.
Yep, I am going to be going on call for my 3rd week straight next week. So,
oof.
Yeah, they have all these work. They have all these work rules for the residents and all that. And it's like, oh, you're an attending now? No rules. So, fortunately, I have residents and fellows doing all the dirty work for me. So it's a good time. In game, I've been doing a lot of colonization stuff. So I think Volt and I have been working pretty hard on trying to establish a new screw space out near the coal sack sector.
Whoa,
and,
do tell.
Do tell, yeah. So between the two of us, we have about a dozen systems out there, most of which have an outpost as sort of a chain from point A to point B to point C. It started with my quest to have the loose screws have our own double platinum mining hole that we own. That's ours.
Yeah.
And so we had to build a 5 system chain from the closest point in civilized space to the system. And then, and then Volt wanted to build a couple systems where we could be self-sustaining with future colonization efforts, as opposed to have to lower ourselves to, buy from other minor player factions.
Ugh.
And yeah, because the riffraff.
Ugh.
And so
I have to wash my hands after that transaction.
exactly. So he's been working on some stuff on his systems, and turns out Commander Ty, our legendary leader emeritus, he built a system. He put a dodec in it. So he bought some arcs. Bro bought some arcs.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, or somebody bought him arcs. I mean, I can't say that he bought him. Maybe Trax Venmo'd him, or Chig Venmo'd him some arcs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, so like
Venmo
arc snow?
does dollars, euros, and arcs.
Yes. But so I was very proud to see that he has something nearby. And then I heard a rumor that Lark Shadow is going to be setting up a system nearby.
In 24 minutes, I will be claiming the system that will become New Comma. Has an Earth-like world. We're going to make it high-tech, tier 3. It's going to have all the bells and whistles.
Yeah,
except the Dodec station, because I don't have the money.
You don't have the money. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I want to put a dodec system in mine, but I can't put it in until I have all the little points. I have to have like some tier 3 points. And so I'm, getting all those kind of ducks in a row. So it might actually, unfortunately, be no longer in pay to win mode anymore by the time that I am ready to pay to win. So. It's not really pay to win, but that's a whole different.
It never was pay to win. That's why I was
never pay to win. I mean, our friends across the pond were talking about play to win this week on the British podcast.
Yeah,
and
it's okay. It's okay. They can be wrong.
I've never heard of that one.
You never heard of that with the British podcast?
No.
So
Isn't it a Scottish podcast?
Yeah. Is it a Scottish podcast? It's not Irish. I know that. So
I mean,
no, last time
someone
called it an Irish podcast. They got banned.
You just gave me a great idea. I'm not going to
actually don't. No,
I'm not going to elaborate. Let's move on.
Okay. All right. So that's my week. Hauling a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta make some notes. keep talking.
Yeah, well, while Daxi plans his inevitable ban from Lave forever,
yes.
Let's move on to the squadron update, I guess.
He's living rent-free in their head. I mean,
He's living rent-free in a lot of people's heads.
Yes.
Incoming priority message.
Probably living in the AI thing, too.
Alrighty, so allegedly, everything is fixed in the BGS because they FDev in their most recent quality of life update posted that the big problem that hadn't been fixed yet, which is that the influence from missions is not going to the right faction in a system. They fixed. Now, of course, the link that they used was to a player complaint about something not working during elections. Now, that's the headline. But when you actually go and read what the complaint was, it was like, well, it's in elections, but sometimes it's not in elections, and sometimes this and sometimes that. But basically, the thing that
the wars.
Yeah, the wars. So there was 2 issues. One, the first issue, which they fixed a while ago, it looks like, is forever wars, where a war would start and it would never end, or a war would start and end, or an election would start and end, and the asset would not be transferred, or control of the system would not be transferred.
Didn't that happen to us like 3 different times?
Oh my gosh, there was the many battles of Myola. I mean, Oblivious is probably still having like some Vietnam-esque flashbacks to Oblivious, to the whole Battle of Myola 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That eventually we took control of that system because we tried one more time. But that part seems to have been fixed. But the other part, which is one of the main issues causing a lot of overheating of a lot of systems, still persisted, which was if you were doing a whole bunch of missions for the other factions to try to cool down the controlling faction, all the influence we had transferred to the controlling faction. And it looked like it was pretty much mostly in Power Play 2.0 systems that were originally Power Play 1.0 systems.
Yeah, that was the thing Nurgle discovered. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they said it's fixed. We haven't had a chance to test it. We've
all been 600 light years out doing other crap.
Yeah, no, exactly. And there is a war in Juan that, as of 3 hours ago, we were losing 3-1. That we kind of said, hey, maybe we want to use this war to see if it's fixed, because we had the most influence of any faction in that system. But the Misfits of the Galaxy, who are the native player faction in that system, they control the primary port, and they control the system. It's weird. Because when there was a war, it didn't pass control.
Yeah,
so
it was
so
like
we were
had like 30% influence and we're controlling the system. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, so we said, hey, let's see what happens. Let's win this war, because we won the last war and no one seemed to care. But all of a sudden, I think the Misfits of the Galaxy really care, because like before we realized anything was going on, they're up 2-0.
Right.
So they were like, oh, okay, so maybe do we want to try? Do we not want to try? And then it was like 3-1.
It was either Oblivious or Nurgle who was like, I'm going to go do like what we normally do and just do a CZ for a day and see if we win. And I think we did win the one day.
Yeah.
And then they came back hard.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that's probably what happened. So that was kind of something. So we just need to pick another system where we can kind of test the hypothesis or something. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that part's fixed. But that means I just need to start looking at what our influence is doing, and if a whole bunch of our overheating systems start cooling down or not. Which so far it doesn't look like it. So, but it's only been like a few days.
To be fair, our overheating systems, though, are humongous systems, and that's why they were always overheating in the first place. So
yeah, but and I think also that the fact that my Koro is a Yong-Rui stronghold and all that, a lot of stuff goes on in those things, and all the neighboring systems are like on fire too. But
power play, so much
power
fun.
play, yeah. All right, so that's the squad update in a nutshell. We're just trying to figure out if shit's fixed or not. So that's what we got.
Oh goodness! So let us move on to the best stinger we have for the power play update.
This is the short PP report.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
It's average, so get your facts straight.
And Roy, take it away, I guess.
Sure. Once again, unashamedly copied from Kruger5's post in our Discord. Cycle 54, Soontil relics. Relics hit 600 ton supply this cycle, and the powers jumped on to boom for huge gains. The last relics rush was 14 cycles ago. The power of Princess Aisling showed with the relics rush. She gained 138 new systems, 8 new fortifieds. The other powers. Oh, is that
God.
Digits?
No.
Anyway, the other powers to maximize this were Yong-Rui with 73 systems, Antal with 70, and Mahon plus 60. Delaine's putting up a fight and keeping Torval behind for now. There's only 3 systems difference.
Thank God.
The relic boom created a nice battle in the FDev board between Archer, Antal, and Kaine for Archer's 6th place. Archer at 1131, Kaine at 1100, and Antal at 1089.
Come on, Kaine, you gotta freaking do better against Archer, man.
And in, I think, a great blow to power play everywhere, 1 ton trading is gone.
Thank
Trade is
God. Roy, can I take this?
Go for
it. Do it. Go
Jesus Christ. If and I was Mr. PP. That's a weird name. Anyway. I have never seen a more inertia-killing, energy-sucking mechanism than 1 ton trading. Because for me, power play became a cornerstone of the game. And even after a year plus, we've had multiple big campaigns. We've had some really cool stories come out of it. And the thing that I saw is none of the group coordination that the system is designed to orchestrate mattered at all. every fight we had for a system boiled down to, does someone who knows how to 1-ton trade or have the macro and the auto hotkey pay attention to this system? If they don't, we can win it. If they do, we can feel like we're going to win it until the last day when we don't. I hated this mechanic, and I stopped doing power play because of it, because we had the big push for, oh God, it's been so long.
Baby.
Yeah, we had that push for that archer system, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, he's got a combat buff. We don't, but let's put a lot of people behind it. Didn't matter. They 1-ton traded their way to victory, because a guy can push a button on his keyboard and then it goes click, 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 click for 8 hours, and 3 million merits later, the system is theirs. Yong-Rui as a power had individuals that were the most guilty of this. The leaderboard for Yong-Rui regularly had individuals in the 2-3 million plus merit range.
Why don't you tell everyone what happened to all those 1-ton traders?
What happened to them was not enough, but what happened to them, thankfully, at least was FDev did address it and gave them some kind of ban to solo for a week. Which is a shame, because you can do 1-ton trading in solo anyway. At least, if not symbolic, it was something.
It's a slap
it was shameful
on the wrists when it could have easily been a ban.
It did say to them, "We do know who you are."
We know who you are. And basically,
I got family in the mob, so sometimes just leaving a horse head in someone's bed, is enough to get them to act straight.
They know that this game has so many not gameplay loops, but there's so many avenues for this gameplay style to coalesce. There's that many more avenues for a bug or a loophole or an exploit. So if nothing else, it's like, we've got our eyes on you, and if we're going to actually ban you in the future, this maybe even just establishes a precedent. We gave you a chance, now you're done.
Next time they get banned to open.
That would be great.
Why don't they do that? Because then people can blow them up.
If you are listening, banning them to open is so much more. I would love that.
Yes.
Open. That's the name of the episode, by the way.
There we go. We got a title.
Banned to open would be a perfect remedy, because it's like, cool, great, go do your thing and have fun getting blown up.
Yep. I mean, if you're 1-ton trading, I'll blow your fucking ass up on the landing pad, and I'll go to jail.
Yeah.
I mean, I can live with that.
I wake up in the prison like Worth.
Yeah. And I remember convincing myself way back. I was like, oh, 1-ton trading, but you have to like set up a macro and all this crap. I remember at the very beginning being like, can I manually 1-ton trade? I got like 17 tons in. I said, I'm gonna shoot myself. This is crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised you got the 17. You know how far I got? 3.
So what this means, full disclosure, man, your reaction boils down to, do you care about the game or do you care about your little niche? Because Yong-Rui was one of the ones that benefited most from this with the trade buff.
Yep.
Yong-Rui's going to take the biggest hit. And good. Yeah. I'm not here for Yong-Rui.
That was our accounting department that was doing that, and you know how much fun those guys are.
Yeah, a bunch of stiffs. I'm not here to win. I'm not here for like my color star to increase across the game. I want the game to be good.
Yeah.
And I want this system, which I described it as like, this kind of acts like the mortar between the bricks of the gameplay styles. It now has a chance for me to be that, because until whatever it is, the next exploit comes along, it was two-sided. 1-ton trading was banned, and on-foot data was turned on again. It's been off for months. That's some of the most fun you can have, because that's Odyssey stuff you can do in a group. It's actually fun, right? Like, the whole criticism to me of the gameplay style or the Odyssey gameplay being somewhat rudimentary or like kind of caught in the mid-2010s, I'm like, if you're doing these activities in the spirit they're intended, which to me is together, it's just a hell of a lot more fun anyway. Yeah. So data's back on. I love the on-foot Odyssey stuff for power play.
Here's the thing about on-foot data. Yeah. I think the merit reward for the data has been fixed too, because in my gut, it tells me that whatever was making data so dang valuable was the same error that was causing all the BGS nonsense and power play nonsense to interact with each other when they shouldn't have been as well. And so I'm wondering if they turned it back on, because when they, at least claim, they fixed that in the BGS, they had someone just try it just for kicks and giggles, and they were like, "Oh, look, it only gave me like 5 merits. That's what it's supposed to be, or whatever it is." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, time will tell. I mean, I'm looking at it's only been like a day, but the leaderboard for Yong-Rui still has some big numbers, but it's not as unreasonable as it was.
Yeah.
I think gets 2 big thumbs up for Frontier for that. Because it took them a while. Cool, great. We all know that Elite's a small game. Things are going to take a while, but they did it, and I think it gives the whole system a lot of new gasoline in the engine.
Yeah. Now, hopefully, the other thing that if this doesn't address it or whatever, is it would be really nice if, I don't want to say it was easier to undermine, but that it was easier to undermine. I mean, I want sort of that Storm und Drang of, powers pitting against powers, like, okay, crap, this system's in jeopardy versus not. I mean, I want parity. I mean, I want it to be like, like wars and elections are balanced. How many elections can you run? How many wars can you win in? I mean, there's not really an exploit for either of those. Yeah. It's like you got to just roll up your sleeves and put the work in. Mm-hmm. And, these other, undermining versus reinforcing, it's so much easier to reinforce. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, really, if you're going to undermine, it's a lot of fucking work. And,
it being a lot of work is fine. It has to matter.
Yeah. I mean, because there was plenty of times where it was like, we just barely lost the system that we were trying to acquire. And it's like, okay, well, I want to give these guys hell. Alexandrinus, for example.
Yeah. And then there was things like Ein Bumber.
I mean, it was like Sisyphus's task. And, I was just very frustrated with the whole affair. Yeah. And I'm sure, I know you were. I think that was what kind of made you throw in the Tal taxi, besides having to renovate your house.
Besides that, Jesus Christ, 6-week renovation. But it was out. Look at so just the little kind of recent history of Loose Goose Power Play. Alexandrinus versus Ne per se, right? Alexandrinus, mindless, hopeless slog, because we're trying to undermine, right?
Yeah.
Ne per se was an open conflict with, for a competition with Antal. We took that piece of cake. Like, Ne per se is firmly Yong-Rui now. And to me, I'm like, that highlighted the very nature of the problem. So we've got to see how it goes from here. I had a ton of plans for the Highway to Hell campaign that got the kibosh when we realized like one-ton trading really renders the whole inertia of the thing moot. But that's out of the picture now. So I've got to see and maybe retool what the plans for the campaign are, because Ne per se was a good stepping point.
Rick, I'd be down for something like that again.
Yeah. And now I hate to put the time and effort into a group event and organizing it, knowing, frankly, I might be wasting someone's time.
No, we need to do some testing before we organize
the biggest, the by far the biggest roadblock on that to making that a cool group effort, community thing is out of the way now. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah.
Noise.
That's it.
Good.
Yep. Whew. All right. Should we move on
to the Power Play update?
And that's the Power Play update. Like we said, it's average. We should move on to the dev news, huh? There's some
there's one thing
afoot.
I want to cover before we hit the stuff that's actually in here.
Yes.
And that's the whole what happened. It was either last week and this week or twice this week. I can't remember which. With them being like, oh, we're going to change this to this. And then the community going completely the opposite direction and FDev backing off and basically nerfing it or walking it back completely. Yeah, one of the two. Mm-hmm. I just want to say that for whatever reason, when the entire community just started complaining about that one thing, my brain went instant contrarian little bitch mode, and I went the other direction so hard on both of those that I was wrong both times.
Yes,
so if I do that again, somebody please slap me.
Yeah. No, but tell us what you were thinking, and tell us why you now think what you were thinking was wrong.
Yeah.
Take us there. Take us into Lark Shadow's mind.
Yeah. Oh God.
So you're gonna laugh.
Hold up.
It's really not that bad.
Alex was here to go into your mind with us because he would love that.
It's like the Willy Wonka tunnel from the old.
I know, right?
With the chicken beheading. Yes. Saddle up. There's no knowing where we're going.
Freaking.
The Zoomers don't get that reference. They're missing out.
My Zoomers get that reference.
Good
Because
man.
my Zoomers are well versed in the classes. Thank you very much.
Good man. Good man. Anyways,
yeah,
so-
Lark,
so the
quick
reason I
synopsis.
went the
How are you
opposite-
wrong?
Yeah, the reason I went the opposite direction so hard both
Yeah.
times is because all I saw was complaining. And when I see nothing but complaining, it bothers me. And I just want the complaining to go away.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
literally it. It's
Yeah.
not any deeper than that.
The internet throws a lot of that at us.
Yeah.
I was waffly and kind of like, meh. Like I'm not begrudging. And God, I've come a long way from 7 years ago when I thought that the idea of any purchase or money changing hands outside of the price of the game was morally abhorrent. But I just,
Welcome
I've
to
been
2025,
on
my
the
man.
ride, man. Almost not, 7 years. It's getting up on a decade eventually. And I remember the Odyssey release, and I remember every swing and flow of how the game went, including like, uh-oh, are we canceling? Like, what's going to happen to this thing versus where it's at now? And I'm like, dude, they're trying to be creative to keep the thing afloat because we're such a small percentage of Frontier's portfolio. They have to like bend, and I hate to say it, they have to test the market. And if nothing else, to their credit, man, they tested the market and got
And
pretty
gosh,
universal
was the
feedback.
market- Yeah.
And-
They wanted
Yeah.
feedback. They got it.
And then what to me, what the speed of the reversal says is they completely understand how devoted a small community is, and if that small community is pissed off enough, they're not coming back. And you're not going to make it again. So like they understand the human capital that we represent to respect it enough to be like, whoa, okay, we made them unhappy. It's gone. And I don't see a lot of video game companies either have the like intuition or flexibility to do that. It's a good quality, even though overall, yeah, cool. The microtransaction thing is whatever. But I think it represents a good human quality for what that's worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I
think
mean,
the
I
last
agree with
time
you. I
they
mean, I
pulled-
think that. Go ahead, Roy.
I was just gonna say, I think the last time they pulled something back that fast was when they took the mini game out of plant gunning when
Yes.
Odyssey first came out.
Oh, that got hammered immediately and universally, and they
I had
pulled that
forgotten
so
about
fast.
that. That's hilarious.
They pulled that so fast.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bloom.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, I think they're still trying to figure some things out. I wish I could see their books. I mean, I would be absolutely fascinated with their books because, I love this game and I want this game to keep going forever. I mean, if, one day they have Elite Andromeda after we find Raxxla and we get a new galaxy and they can fix all the spaghetti code of the new game, that would be great. But in the meantime, we have this spaghetti code morass of a game and we all love it and we all keep coming to it. And microtransactions are the only thing that's paying for this game at this point. I mean, every update is free because if people don't update the game, it's going to be broken. Because, I mean, we did the experiment with having people being in Odyssey and not in Odyssey, people being on Xbox, people being on computers. I mean, it was all like a whole big hot mess. And then just saying, okay, we're going to update the game, but please buy some skins. Please, please buy some stuff. And then the new ships and, you getting a new ship early and you pay a certain amount for that is great. I do question if they could make more money and sell more arcs if things were priced a little bit less. Because I think, some of the skins are a little bit too expensive.
To what it was, but just like a little bit cheaper.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Well,
the 50,000 arcs for the Dodeck, I mean, I would have put it at 35,000 arcs. I mean, but like I said, I don't see the books. I don't know where the receiver operator characteristic on this thing is and the inflection point and what that sweet spot is of maximal revenue coming in based on the pricing. And
I
then,
think this
and
is
I'm hoping they have someone there smarter than me that's doing that. But
I think this is working as intended, right? Like they went into this knowing it was sensitive, and that's why they pulled it so fast.
Yeah, and it's nostalgia bait. Honestly, it really is. Which is fine.
And as far as
nostalgia
testing the
bait keeps things
downside, I mean,
going.
that's what the weekly sales are.
Yeah.
That's where they're testing to see
Yeah.
if there's like what this price curve looks like.
Yeah, but they didn't have time to have a price curve when they pulled it back.
No.
Like it didn't even
Yeah,
talk yet.
that felt like an anticipated reaction. Like we might need to do this fast.
Yeah,
And,
that
we
felt
gotta
like
do
a
it.
plan
Yeah.
A, plan B.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
Yeah.
retrospect.
Yeah, not worth
Yeah.
running the experiment much longer. Maybe on that.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and I think that, it being limited access is cool so that it democratizes it for those that, they play video games and, they can't really afford, like they paid their $30 and that's what they got. Yeah. The folks flying around in, either, Twitch drop skins or giveaway skins and they're not really buying their own skin. No, I'm really serious. I mean, there's
No,
not
I'm saying it's not me flying around in Twitch drop skins.
well, you're not.
Some
but,
of them are kind of nice.
Yeah. I mean, every purple outpost in New Screw Space is with a Twitch drop purple outpost paint job.
Oh, that's funny.
So if you join us, you can have gray.
Go purple.
No purple
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. It also showed me something that I love, which is just the whole hard power, soft power dynamic in international politics, right?
Yes.
Hard power is military, soft power is like the cultural weight.
Mhm.
The soft power of the Burr pit. When Burr
Yes.
makes a video, I swear to God, it's just the most straightforward, kind of humble yet firm presentation of an idea. I'm like, that man steers the ship of the community. I swear to God, like the way they communicate things is the way things are going to go. So Burr Pit, they have he's a benevolent leader. It's not obvious. He didn't ask for the mantleship of power, and yet it was bestowed upon him. So
He's the Pied Piper of the galaxy.
yes, it's just as soon as I saw that was in his video, I was like, I bet you something's gonna happen, and then it happened. I forget. It was like that day or the next day.
Yeah, because he's never unhappy. And so if he's unhappy about something,
Yeah.
it's like when E.F. Hutton talks, you listen.
Yeah, it's that old phrase: if Burr ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, gents. And just now, I have claimed the system.
Woohoo!
All right.
And
just for the record,
galaxy
it's
map's
better than
not
my-
loading. Thanks, Elite. That's so helpful.
Oh.
We're doing great.
Well, should we move on? There was a progression in the story,
There
was.
was.
which I
Daxi,
fully
would you mind?
anticipated to back when I was renovating the house, and then I came back after not playing for a month and a half. I'm like, wait, nothing's happened.
It took a minute.
Yeah. HIP 87621. The permit was issued. Who's been there?
I've been there.
I have
Tell us
not
about
yet
it there
because
today.
I needed to help this little colonization
Boy,
thing to get this started.
Spin us a tale of the news from the black.
Well, spoilers. I'll just say that. Spoilers coming.
Oh, nobody's listening now anyway in the podcast. We can just
Oh, yeah, we're
tell
well
yeah,
past
they've all
that.
clicked out by now.
It's
So
funny.
Mute's
actually,
listening. I know Mute's listening.
The
Hey, Mute.
I mean,
when I elected to fly in there, I ran into Jello Wiggler like in real time on the exact same body that I was landing on. It was kind of
did you
interesting
really?
Oh, that's
seeing a
cool.
green square.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's cool.
So we both elected to look for and found there's a crash site, which has some let's say flavor text. You can point your SRV's data thingy at and listen to. Not listen to. Sorry, it's not voice acted. It's just you read it, but it's some narrative that fits in with her crash landing there and going off from there to go look at something. And then
Her Seo Janae.
No, her.
no,
the,
Terry Tora.
Oh yeah, Terry quite contrary. Yep.
Territory. Yeah, so the one that started all this that we were looking for and wondering where she went, and this is where she crashed, and then got out of her Sidewinder and presumably traipsed across the 6 kilometers to the nearest bio site. It's a new kind of bio site that shows up not just as a let's say when you're doing an FSS and it tells you there's biologicals on a world. This actually shows up as a POI on the surface as well. I think Spire sites, did they do that, or were they only visual? I think they showed up as that as well.
I think they were
maybe I'm
POIs.
Maybe I'm misremembering.
Is it on the biological heat map, or is this like
Nope,
the old
nope, it's like
crystal
left
sites?
panel. It shows up on the left panel,
Yeah.
just like a crash site sort of thing, but you can see it right from the FSS.
Yeah, I'm going to be heading out that way after I deploy the colonization beacon, because I haven't seen them yet. I've only seen pictures, and holy cow, they big.
They're really cool. There's a lot of verticality to this thing. It's a point. The one I was on, I think most of them are like 0.3 gravity, 0.34-ish, so you can jump a fair ways with your pack. So you can really parkour around these things. So yeah, you go to this place and there's like a blue haze, and inside of it there's something like a cross between mushrooms and giant trees, and they have almost like lily pad tops, so you can perch on the top of them or run up and down the sort of angled trunks of them. And when you use your plant scanner with the new extended range, it highlights a bunch of hot spots. And the hot spots on these plants, so there's basically spots on the plants to scan. It's not just the whole plant. And some of these are partway up the trunk. Some of them are on the top. There's various. So there's some. Let's say minor challenge. It's kind of interesting to figure out the geometry of where you have to be to get the scan. Sometimes you can stand on a branch. Sometimes you stand on the sort of lily pad thing on the top. Sometimes you could just be jumping and sort of half hover and get the stuff.
I was going to say, I've seen people doing a lot of that, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's actually, it makes it pretty interesting. It's a lot more interesting than just walking up to something and hitting the button, so it's got some physicality to it that's fun to play around. They glow. You'll want to visit the ones that are on the night sides of the bodies, because the surface temperature is hot enough that you'll immediately start losing health when you get out of your ship or your SRV. I mean, you can get out long enough to say you get 3 of the scans and therefore have 1 of your canisters full of the stuff before you've lost maybe a quarter of your health, but you're not going to hang out there for a long time on the lit side of these bodies. And what else? Something I haven't found I forget who was mentioning it today in the chat. I think there's some kind of ziggurat or something. There's some kind of building on one of these bodies that's worth looking at. So I haven't done that yet. And there's no indication that that's like a major plot point or anything yet. But there was something unusual as well. And now I don't know if that's a different, like just a
mystery,
something that would have been there anyway. Because there's lots of POIs that look like interesting buildings on other bodies. I don't know if it's associated with this or not, but worth looking for. There's also some text around the description of these plant things regarding them having extensive underground root systems that go for hundreds of meters. So there's that. Maybe there's something to do with underground. There's at the moment, nothing obvious that would lead underground. There's no like doors that won't open or ramps or obvious. They
like
sort of
at the Guardian sites, which happen to share a color with the trees.
Yeah, they glow blue, and they're like mangrove. Like on the bottom, the roots sort of spread out before they go into the ground.
It's really, really, really cool.
The tops of them, they spew like a spore cloud or something, shooting straight up from a bunch of them, and it's going on pretty frequently. And they all have these pods on the top of them that look kind of like the alien facehugger pods, except they're not animated, not yet anyway. But that's, this is where this gas is coming out of. So yeah, that's kind of the rundown on it right now. And then there's obviously there's a CG where you collect this stuff, take it to the asteroid base that's in that system. And you'll get a photon blue suit pack for your Artemis and some credits if you just hand in 1 sample. So 1 sample, 1 unit, a score of 1 in the CG is what you get when you scan these plants 3 times and you fill up the canister on your plant gun once. That counts as 1. So as of right now, if I look over at Inara, there's, what do we got? The top 75% is from 7 to 16. So early days, but it's not a high number. Where it's really high is the top 10 commanders are just battling it out. 567 to 1,283. So there's some people really going for it. Yeah, so times 3 is how many times they've scanned the plant. So 3,600 times.
But they can
somebody's
scan other
scanned
plants too, and they get points for that.
Well, you can scan. The radius, like normally there's a radius around the flora. The radius is ridiculously small, and you can scan within the same little grove many, many, many times. So they took off a restriction about once per planet, plus the radius is ridiculously small. Like sometimes you just jump to the next plant. It's that close. So you can get a lot out of just hanging out in one of these groves. You don't have to, spend a lot of time roaming around the whole planet just to get a few dozen, let's say. So
the devotion of some commanders will never cease to amaze me.
So
Wow.
let's see. I think that's. Oh, and then if you're in the top 75, you get a grade 5 Artemis suit with improved battery, night vision, increased sprint, and improved jump.
That's the exploration ones.
Yeah, that's exactly what I put on my mains.
That's
suit.
exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And is that a
Odyssey
suit? And is that a suit
CG?
you could make, or
Yeah,
is that
I've
something
made
where it's
one,
like
yes.
a super suit?
No, you can make it.
No, I mean, the text, the way they've described it, just sounds like the normal engineering. It doesn't sound like it's extra engineered or something.
First Odyssey reward to a CG ever.
Yep.
Love it.
Hope there's more. And it's
Love
like I said,
it.
it's actually pretty fun jumping around the plants, and it's at night, and they're glowing, and there's some audio effects, and there's this spore stuff shooting off. It's pretty cool.
Great.
So guys, or screws, I should say, welcome to System IC 2602 sector is DU-Y D169, where the primary port is going to be deployed around an Earth-like world that is in a tidal orbit with a water world, but bookended by what looks like either another water world and an ammonia world. And then farther out are a couple of gas giants that look like they have mineable rings, though I haven't scouted those too well yet.
So when this CG and the plants and the haze that they're giving off eventually turns into full atmospheric planets, then that system sounds like it's going to be a great place to walk around.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I have never had a thing that I think is going to happen, but I also have no faith that it's going to happen more than this storyline leading to some fundamental gameplay change like that.
So I've got some thoughts about that.
Bork was the one that brought up that when he first saw these new plants and like the kind of atmosphere and everything that was given off, he was like, it looks like they're trying to terraform the world.
Roy, what's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, if we wanted to jump to that, yes.
We want to jump to that.
I want to jump to that.
When he mentioned that, I completely agreed with that, with a bit of a twist. So, one thing that, certainly newer players might not realize is when you're flying in your ship and you, let's say, try to fly to a water world or an Earth-like or anything that's quote unquote non-landable, and you hit the exclusion zone and you jump, you fall out of Super Cruise into normal space. That is not just a game mechanic like in some open world games where there's invisible walls on the edge of the map.
Right.
Functionally that's what that is, but actually there's a lore reason for that. It's not just we're not programming this part, so we're gonna everybody look away while we stop your ship from going any further. It's not just that. There's a lore reason in the sense that, and it was played out actually in the story leading up to this CG. Permit locks, like what's the point of a permit lock? How does a permit lock work? Like, why can't I just fly my ship to that place? And it's because the Pilots Federation controls all our ships. Every ship has the same That's why every ship has the same screen in front of you and all the same controls and the computer and the super cruise and the jumping between systems. We are all flying ships that are, you could say, remotely governed by.
Oh my gosh, they low-jacked my Viper.
Basically, by the Pilots
puppets
Federation.
We're all puppets in the machine.
Yeah. So when you
all
can't
have
go
one
to a
star.
planet, when you can't go to a planet, it's because they don't want you to go
Nice.
there. It's not because you're, if you were to try to think about the physics in the game, you could, like, there's nothing explained in the game from a physics reason why you can't go to these planets. It's a political reason why you can't go to these planets. It's a administrative reason why you can't go to these planets. So what does that have to do with this? Well, I was thinking, how might they introduce a new kind of, or a modified kind of atmospheric world that has gameplay without suddenly making a whole class of planetary bodies landable? This gives them an in-between step. So if they have planets that are becoming thicker atmosphere because of this flora, these tree things, then they have some choices here. They can control. Now, there's an assumption here that this is going to spread to other places or be found in other places. With it being a spore, you would think that's not a big stretch. So they could control how many other bodies this goes to. They could control over what time period this terraforming effect takes place. And then once it does, you've got however many bodies they decide to allow this in. It plays nice with the Pilots Federation thing because we have a remit to go to these planets for research purposes.
Yeah.
And
they
it's so
can
hot,
still say, no, you can't land on the Earth-like world because we don't want you to give them space herpes.
Right. Like it's not like the new feature. That's not like the new feature is, now you can land on high metal contents that have an atmospheric pressure between X and Y, because that would open up literally hundreds of millions of bodies in the galaxy.
Try
suddenly.
Billions. I was going to say add a couple zeros to that.
This way they could control. They have some levers. They could control how fast, how many, how far, and it's a super hot planet. So again, they don't have to worry. I don't think about drawing fauna or people or things like that, like they might on an Earth-like or a water world or something like that. So that was my take. Is that it gives them a different way to introduce a different kind of thicker atmosphere body where they can control its introduction.
Well, I love too that if they're gonna just keep in mind the amount of developers they have, how long these features take to roll out, how much time they have. I appreciate the whole in-game lore consideration for things like that. I've always been a sucker for having an in-game explanation of something. So if they need to kind of jerry-rig this narrative around the extended development time, if they are pushing for anything bigger for that, that doesn't bug me at all. I actually always appreciated being able to approach the things in the game with my head in the game and not like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a big draw to this has always been like that feeling of cohesiveness. And I based on Frontier, I'm like, I don't think they're dragging their feet on something like this. The fact that this is taking as long as it is reminds me of the lead up to the Thargoid War. And the first time that we had, I refuse to call them Stargoids. I always hated that name. The like
Titans.
the big
The Titans, yeah.
swirling through real space. I remember I flew out. When I'm on the Elite subreddit, I only get downvotes because I'm me. But I had a post get like 1,500 upvotes, and it was a meme I made of me pointing at the Titan because they were flying in real space. And I remember long lead up. And even then, there was this feeling of like, well, are they dragging their feet? Like, why is this taking so long? And then we had 2 years of content from that.
Right.
And I've never heard anyone other than the real old salts speak ill of the Thargoid War. That gave us a narrative direction. That gave us a gameplay emphasis on, in my opinion, still the best type of flight gameplay in the game.
And
for
like,
2 years.
remember what that did to some of the BGS factions out there when it freaking landed in their home system or right next to it or whatever,
Yeah.
they were literally kicked out of their homes.
Kicked
Like
out of your
that was an
system.
emerging story.
Consequences, right? Like it's dangerous is in the name. It's not elite harmless.
Oh, those
Elite,
poor
mostly
original
harmless.
And
Thargoid War was like, it's like rubber's hitting the road, man. Pow, consequences. The galaxy can change, nothing's guaranteed, and you got to pull together to make this work. And we pulled together and we made it work.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I'm willing to. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Blake.
No, it was really remarkable. Like that the game community, mostly looking at some people, but mostly worked together to try to push back the Thargoids. You know, and it was like we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were trying to figure out how to figure out what the hell we were doing.
Yeah.
We were losing that war for a good while too.
Yeah, and then you know, an FDev, you know, dropped the toys, dropped the trinkets, dropped the things that you know helped. But the other thing that it did is, for good or for ill, it sort of demystified Thargoid combat for the greater community.
It did.
You know, it did, and so you had these, and I still love them. These, you know, combat zones. You know, on ground ports. I mean, there were beautiful vistas in these atmospheric planets where we were fighting Thargoids with a beautiful background. And then you had pilots that were, you know, rookies trying to learn how to do this. You had, you know, really good, you know, skilled pilots. You know, there was like, you know, coordination of effort, communication, things like that. I mean, it was really great. It was really absolutely fun, thrilling gameplay. I mean, I killed my first Thargoid with a courier because we were doing a piranha night, and it was like the first time I said, okay, I'm going to try to kill something bigger than a scout. And so I threw some guardian shards on some salvation shards on a courier, and you know, killed my first Thargoid in a freaking courier. You know, it was like the coolest thing. I mean, I had help. You know, I mean, I wasn't the only person working on that Cyclops, but you know, I got my licks in, and I didn't die. I mean, that was my whole thing that day. Was like, I did not die today, and you know, that was
not a good day to die.
It was not a good day to die. And the thing about this that I mean, I saw on Facebook, so take it for what it's worth. But someone pointed out that like these new set pieces, which are really beautiful, reminded them of first encountering a barnacle. No one had ever seen a Thargoid.
I saw that post too.
Yeah, you saw that because I put it in the thing. I put it in the Discord.
Well, I saw it on Facebook just because I'm in the elite community there too.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, say hi to me in when your secret identity sees my secret identity.
In there, but yeah,
I know, but you know,
Facebook's home of the I can't believe they canceled the consoles community still to this day.
Yeah, you know, I just am like, dudes, get over it. I bought a PC. You can buy a PC.
Hey guys,
you know,
out there,
the Type 11's cool, but you know, be even better consoles.
And to the people out there who need to hear it again, go buy Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never hit my forehead harder against my desk than someone asking in 2025, is Odyssey worth it?
I mean, I don't even do ground stuff.
Yes!
Odyssey's worth it.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to learn to do ground stuff. I mean, I think this new thing is going to force me to learn how to do ground stuff. But, you know, you know, I don't do ground stuff. And yes, Odyssey's worth it just for the beautiful vistas and all the new toys and all the other things that you have to have the game to do that, you know? And if I hear one person say something Kickstarter and I had to pay for it, even though I'm a Kickstarter guy, I'm like, just, dude, it's like 15 years. You know, this game's been around like so long. Like other games are like either dead or on a new number.
Yeah, next time you find a post like that on the Facebook thread, tag me so I can go in there and tell them exactly how long I played Neverwinter Nights, which came out in 2004, and I stopped playing it in like 2018 finally.
Yep.
And you're still bitter about it to this day.
No, I had great time. It was great fun. I just moved on. That's all.
I can't believe in 2006 they tweaked my armor value.
Somebody get Daxy's megs again. It's that time.
Yes.
Yep. Anyway.
So do we think that this, I mean, obviously there was a dozen, and there were dozens of theories about what we'd find in this planet, and here's what we found. Do you think, in light of this, what do you think this changes? Some of these theories obviously don't apply at all. Some of them were pretty close.
So I think the terraforming thing, I don't know if it's right on the money, but I think it's on the same road. And I think first that these new life discoveries are going to lead to some specific type of planets that are going to end up with life walking around on them. Not a lot, but some.
Hmm.
I think there's going to be a new enemy.
The old Planet Zoo.
Well, yeah, a new enemy would be good. One thing that hasn't been answered is why are the powers so interested in this?
Yeah.
Because they know.
It's got to have a big narrative drive, right? They can't do the Thargoid War again. Salvation is by far, I guess, I'd say the most compelling thematic device they've had that is still lingering. I have to see a connection there.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, what if Salvation's whole thing of putting his consciousness into the Guardian stuff wasn't so he could keep fighting the Thargoids forever, but was so he could develop life that is inherently anti-Thargoid?
He's like a mushroom tree now.
Exactly.
You know, something about mushrooms, and this has actually come out in some real life stories. I don't know if you've seen this where people have taken, this is such a bizarre thing to look at, but it looks like a mushroom on a computer chip. Where
yeah, I've seen that.
They've figured out how to interface with fungi, basically, electronically, and you turn them into, I think it was like a memristor or something, like basic logic elements. So there's a like a proto-intelligence, if you will, within fungoids, if that makes sense.
Oh, Trekkies are going to hate that Discovery was right about that.
Well, yeah, right? Like,
well, these were like interdimensional, like string theory fungi that they were on that show. Like,
Roy,
you could ride a fungi through a thread and you teleport. You know,
real
I mean,
quick,
it was
Roy. How many milligrams was the gummy you took before the show?
There are videos. Some weird stuff shows up on my feed. There's videos of, it looks like alligator clips on mushrooms connected to a servo that has little arms that hammers on a xylophone or on a keyboard, and they've actually got mushrooms playing kind of music or rhythms. Like, it's wild. Was
it all along the watchtower? Because it's got to have been all along the watchtower.
my mind went
They're playing
there,
Dream Theater. Jesus Christ.
When Lark was mentioning Salvation, because I thought, what if it's a massive underground network that's actually conscious, and like that's the tie-in where Salvation's consciousness is now fungoid based. I don't know. Like, why choose fungoids? That's actually a characteristic of that. What do you call it? The archaea. That part of the tree of life has that characteristic. They could have chosen anything, but they chose this. So why did they choose this that has that element to it?
I will say this was not
a psychic element.
Yeah, this was not at all the narrative turn I was expecting. And I didn't have a lot of pie in the sky thinking, but like emphasis on something that's exobio related, other than them wanting to have a big narrative push in the vein of the Thargoid War. The Thargoid War was space-based. And it's like, what if they're trying to have the next big phase of the game be mainly Odyssey based? And the way they do that is take the existing game loops, one being exobio, and start the narrative push with something that ties to a gameplay mechanic. I guess I was not anticipating exobio being the direction they were going, but I can only imagine if they're trying to get the biggest bang for their buck as a studio out of the game. It's like, well, Odyssey's been sitting for 3 years, so let's finally have a CG that's Odyssey based. And if nothing else, they've got all the numbers from, God, what was that? It was the biggest CG ever. It was the Panther Clipper one, right?
Yep.
So they have the full spectrum of numbers gauging our interest, and dang sure they're going to track how many people are doing this and how that scales up to everything else they did.
Yeah. Well, you've basically got 3 things you can do on Odyssey, is my understanding. You can fight, you can plant gun, and you can kind of take some shit apart.
Yeah.
So you can like scrap, scrap and hoard. And I think what they're going to do,
Science,
and I think what they're
shooting
and stealing. Yeah. So I think what they're going to do is, now that they have this whole, operations thing, just like, in the Thargoid War, I mean, well, I actually, in our space community goals, including in the Thargoid War, what can you do? You can scan, you can scan other ships. You can like explore, and you can so you can scan things, you can shoot things, and you can salvage things. Collector limpets, that kind of stuff. Whether you're mining or you're trading and hauling and things like that. So I think that, incorporating the things that you can do in Odyssey in different ways and then connecting them and really try to do the complete sphere of play, on foot, in your SRV, in space, and really unify them. And they dipped their toe in the water when they did the 2-part Spire missions during the Thargoid War, and these are going to be, perhaps more advanced things like that. So
I think it's interesting that they chose the verticality and the 3-dimensionality of this as the first thing, right? Like you can obviously use your jump pack when you're exploring to move faster. You can use your jump pack on ground combat to gain an advantage. But this is like parkour in this thing, and it's an interesting choice if they're wanting to sort of hook people on Odyssey and doing things on foot. This is a pretty good start. It is fun.
That's
and
why
they
I like to do.
I mean, Roy, what if what if the level of engagement with physical movement on foot was the reason they picked the fungus, because it just lets them design the shapes they want so you can jump around.
Well, I'm wondering if it's training, like not like literally, but it's like this is a thing that we're going to keep encountering as this story grows. Is it's not just walking and SRVing. There's going to be some 3-dimensional, like the spires. There's going to be platforms and things to climb, maybe, or get that sort of thing. It's just, I don't think anybody could have foreseen this. It's an interesting element of it. It's a fun element of it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm along for the ride, man.
Regarding the parkour, it's the reason I do ground CZs in my freaking Artemis suit sometimes. Because sometimes it's fun to just be jumping around all over the place like a hyperactive squirrel and firing rockets from the hip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down here in Elite, like, look at me, I'm playing Quake.
Let's put that on.
How do you marry the new ship to this? Because they are marrying the new ship to this.
Well, it's the heat. Maybe it's the heat. There's the tiles on the bottom of the Caspian ship. So maybe these planets get hotter the longer that these things spew stuff.
Possible.
Maybe they turn into almost like a Venus kind of situation.
I mean, I already told, I think it was either Dio or Alcabor, that even with the new ship out, I am going to try and land on those really hot worlds with my freaking shieldless eagle.
Yeah. Well,
how cold does that run?
Not very.
Oh, you're going to burn up and die.
To that point, I was thinking, what's going to be the equivalent to, if this does follow the narrative, the way the Titans created new game loops for the Thargoid War, what's the equivalent of the Titan here? And maybe it's a planet that you can't get into unless you have special things. And maybe it's a planet that, because where would be the home base of these things, maybe, right? So it's a planet that's even hotter and has even bigger things, but you can't get through the cloud unless you've got heat shielding, like that sort of thing, where they make a series of gates and barriers technologically you have to get through.
And we already have a rudimentary survival mechanic in the form of temperature in the game anyway, but there's no gameplay around it. It's just you run back to your ship before you die. We have that. And I'm like, there's a whole kind of exploration, high-risk exploration gameplay style they could add if there was a way to mitigate, manage, or like get out of high temperatures. I mean, there's whole other games that are based around mechanics like that.
Something that was mentioned when
and they could always update the engineering, and whether it's the engineering for the ships so that you can land. I mean, it's great to have this new ship, but someone's going to want to have a small ship, someone's going to want to have a medium ship, and while FDev would love to make all the arcs on having these are the small, medium, and large for this new war, it would be really great if they also could integrate some amount of allowing you to retrofit with some of your ships. Because I think the biggest thing that people complain about is the obsolescence of the old ships. And so, engineering can allow you to both engineer the old ships and also engineer the non-capable new ships to do some of these cool things that the Caspian can do. Perhaps we don't even know what it can do once it's released behind the paywall.
You could
Can
make
you
your
guys
own
hear me
kind
now?
of engineering
Yeah.
for your hull, right? You could have
Yeah,
a high temperature hull.
Yeah, so like I mean just like heat resistant or something.
Something that Zach mentioned in the teaser of the Caspian that I think a lot of people. So I've heard some people lean into it a bit, and others sort of assume it was just a cast-off comment. But it was this idea about the landing gear and something about lava. Like, if these things grow on hot planets, isn't that where the hottest planet would be? Is one of these lava worlds?
Yeah.
God,
maybe that's the
please
thing.
give us lava worlds.
Maybe that's the thing we have to fight our way into with a special ship. And
just give us lava worlds.
yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had a thought back there before my mic decided to be stupid because I need to replace the cable for it.
Does it involve slap fights on a lava world and I have the high ground?
Shut up. So Roy had mentioned, what if there's some home planet that these are all coming from? Do you guys remember a specific star system where a whole thing blew up that started off a whole war?
No.
Not really.
I hate all of you.
That was a different game, Lark.
Is that World War One? Archduke Ferdinand?
The world that is still off limits when it should be landable in HIP 22461.
Oh, ancient lore. The ancient lore.
And I'm saying it won't be related to the Thargoids, but maybe these are home basing from there? Because we don't know where freaking Salvation's consciousness went. So
I think he's in a stone castle on a lava world with a waterfall.
great.
oh my gosh, I hope so.
Somehow salvation returned. Give in to your hate, John Jameson.
The freaking see, this is what happens when we
Yes.
podcast on Friday.
Yes. Give in to your anger. Really? Salvation shoots lightning out of his fingers? Come on.
No, Salvation is somewhere probably just smoking a doobie, sitting in an Adirondack chair. He has no care in the world.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It is Lee Yong-Rui who is your father.
No.
No. Wait, did he leave me a trust fund?
No, he did not.
Oh, man. Yeah. God, man, think about where we are. They've given us reason to be hopeful.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm as much as I joked about like, oh, I dipped out for 6 weeks and they didn't progress it. I'm like, really, this is the same trajectory as the Thargoid War.
Right,
So
exactly.
we waited around then. We can wait around now. It'll be fine.
Yep.
But we shall see. We got an on-foot CG and we'll see who participates.
What's the
Yeah,
count
hopefully
up to
some
now?
people will be banned to open in the CG.
It's been moving.
Dude,
Let's
I
see.
fucking wish they would
It's
ban
like
to
carpet
open.
bomb them.
Yep.
Participants 10,938. It's gone up 1,000 in the last few hours.
Wow.
Frick.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I need to
there's
get
more
out there.
engaging.
Yeah.
Where's my DBX? That's the quickest way to get there.
Love that ship.
Yep. I got a Bandolay that can do like 85 light years per jump.
Oh, my Mandy. Duh. I forgot
Yeah.
that chip existed.
Yeah, because you're like flying an ASP Scout.
And that's still 2 hours
We have so
out,
many new
so-
ships, you forgot that one of the best ones exists.
You know,
What
it's funny.
luxury.
My Mandy's still 2 hours out. My next farthest jumper is literally my ASP Scout. 50 a jump.
That's pretty good.
With weapons and the heavy armor.
I keep the Ask Scout because it has the paint job I won in the stellar screenshots. And so it's purely a little point of pride.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. All right. Well, now that we've gotten the ASP Scout mentioning over the way or out of the way, gosh, I'm getting tired.
Yep.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have? Anyone have anything community corner wise? There's nothing in there.
No, there's not really a lot of community stuff other than there's going to be some sort of buckyball thing that Alex been talking about. So
Yes.
when the details come out, they're kind of doing like casual, not as keep the quick schedule, type of thing. They're kind of like more like the Grateful Dead touring kind of version of buckyball this season, which is nice.
So
when I do my Dodeck station, maybe they can do sort of a slalom course on it because I'm going to get like the 10 noob hammers as much as are my friends on Lave hated them.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to get them because they hated them.
Game yet? It is so awesome.
Also, if any of you recreationally follow the dumbest and yet my favorite back and forth in the elite community of all time, give Lave Radio's latest episode a listen.
Yes.
I make a cameo.
100%.
I make a cameo.
That's where the sister, cousin, brother, wife crap came from at the beginning of the cast.
And believe me, there will be a response.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Blue Moon's over there like, brother, wife? What the f...
I would say it's a Utah thing, right?
I have learned that loose screws is best enjoyed in the absence of questions. Just don't question it. Just roll with it and enjoy it, and you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah. But why is all their mocking of us seem to be a mocking of the Mountain Time Zone?
To be fair, the Mountain Time Zone deserves it. I live in the Mountain Time Zone.
I know you do. And
to be fair,
So do I. 3 of us do.
Oh wow!
To be fair, Bloom, it's got it coming.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, I think it's amazing. I mean, it says something bizarrely statistically anomalous that I am outnumbered by Mountain Time Zone people on this podcast.
Yeah, well,
that never happens. It's usually Midwest and East.
Yeah, it's usually mostly America time, except for tracks.
All right, boys. Well, you ready to wrap this up then?
I am.
Yep. Sure.
All right. Well, everyone out there who's still listening, secondly, if you want to join us, visit loosescrewsed.ed.com. That's loosescrewsed.com. There you'll find a link to our Discord where you can join us. You can also find us on Patreon, where 100% of the money goes right back into the community and pays for fun things that we try to use on the podcast, but don't always work because tech is going to tech. So, for myself, for Daxie, for Roy, and for Blooming Wind, this has been the Loose Screws Podcast. Y'all have a good night, y'all. Everyone, good night, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
I'm Daxie McGraw. Well, see you guys.